In this video, we'll be taking a look at all the recent rules updates posted on FFG's official rules forum. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and like this video to keep up with all the latest content. Leave your comments below and check out our live show on Twitch every Tuesday night at 9 PM Eastern for all the latest in the world of Star Wars Destiny.
You have been well trained.
No. You don't have to carry a sword to be powerful.
I won't fail you.
Oh, do not.
I'm not afraid.
Please don't try.
On July 17, 2018, Fantasy Flight Games issued a rules update via their official rules update thread on their online forums. These updates serve to clarify and supplement the rules reference until a new version of the rules reference can be issued. The first update was, the following bullet point should be added under point values on page 6 in the rules reference. This point value cannot be changed during gameplay. If a character becomes elite, its point value does not change. This is an important clarification in this set now that we have cards that reference a character's point value. For example, let's say your character team is Bo-Katan Kryze, 15 points normal, and Yoda, 13 point elite. Bo-Katan is sporting the Darksaber. An upgrade that reads, before you resolve this die, increase its value by 1 if attached character is 15 or more points, or by 2 instead if attached character is 20 or more points. The set's namesake card, Way of the Force, could be placed on Bo-Katan to make her elite. However, this does not increase her point value to 20. Even though she possesses 2 dice at this point, the Darksaber's die is only increased by 1 upon resolution based on this ruling. The following bullet point should be added under Character, Plots, and Played cards on page 10 in the rules reference. If a card leaves play and re-enters play, it is considered a new instance of the card and there is no memory of its having used its abilities. This is an interesting clarification and currently the most impact on power actions. Snoke, for example, could use his power action to resolve a die, subsequently get defeated on your opponent's next action, and then be Dark Ritualed back into the game. Based on this ruling, his power action is usable again. The Play a Card entry on page 14 in the rules reference should read, whenever a player wishes to play a card, that player follows these steps in order. Declare intent by showing the card and adding it to the queue. Check play restrictions. If the play restriction cannot be met, the action is illegal. Choose targets if applicable. All upgrades require a target. If there is no eligible targets, the action is illegal. Determine the cost or cost if multiple costs are required. If the cost cannot be paid, taking all modifiers into account, the action is illegal. Apply modifiers to the cost, replacing an upgrade and before you play abilities may be triggered at this time. Pay the costs. If the card is next in line in the queue, resolve its effects. After the card resolves, it is either discarded for events or put into play for non-events. This rule is most important when coupled with the following rules update. Illegal actions. If a player takes an illegal action or attempts to take an action that cannot be completed, the entire action is reversed. No abilities trigger and no effects resolve as a result of the reversed action. Then that player takes an action or passes. Action that shuffle a deck, reveal cards from a deck, or move cards to or from a deck cannot be reversed. This ruling clarifies as a judge's nightmare, which is what to do when a card is misplayed. We've seen everything from reverting the game state back prior to the misplayed action, to forcing the player to pay the cost and discard the card, and, in extreme cases, disqualified from their game. We can all agree to disagree on the appropriateness of this ruling, but Fantasy Flight Games has decided to take a more forgiving stance on misplays, and allow the game state to be reverted. For example, if I attempted to play Easy Pickings, I would first declare intent to play the card, check for my condition, choose my targets, and then oh wait, there's not an applicable target. So now the card returns to my hand, and I can take another action or pass. The Claim the Battlefield entry on page 14 in the rule reference should read, when a player claims the battlefield, if they do not control it, they take control of it and move the battlefield card to their play area. Then that player may use its claim ability. This one may seem like a minor clarification, but it has been an important discussion, especially with relationship to Ariana Price. Her special allows you to turn a die to any side and, if you control the battlefield, increase that die by 1. This interacts well with Emperor's Throne Room, clarifying that as soon as you claim the battlefield, you control it, then utilize the claim action. Clandestine Operation Clarification. A player can resolve their dice showing the same symbol, even if those dice were not showing that symbol when the card began to resolve. Now this card operates just like focusing a focus would or special chaining, Applying clandestine operation and combining that with special chaining, you can significantly increase the milling output from this card. DJ clarification. This ability deals indirect damage to an opponent equal to the number of opponent's dice you just removed. This damage is dealt as one source. This ability only triggers when you remove one or more dice, not when dice are removed by an opponent or by the game. If a card leaves play, the game removes its matching die, not a player. DJ has been a source of contention, but this may clarify things a bit. Cards are pretty good at specifying who is doing the removing, so cards like Doubt are removal that your opponent is doing, or when an upgrade is moved from one character to another, that is removal that a game's ruling is doing. DJ works best with cards like He Doesn't Like You, Block, Dodge, and the like. Home turf advantage clarification. Any battlefield brought to the game and set aside can be chosen by cards like Hyperspace Jump and New Orders. This one is pretty self-explanatory. I would love for this one to be an interesting mechanic that helps someone win a game. Don't forget cards like Ascension Gun, which can target a battlefield not in play, but was brought to the game. Platoon clarification. Platoon can have multiple instances of the same non-keyword ability. An interesting tactic would be Platoon into Jedi Partisans. On the first indirect damage dealt by this team, you would mill your opponent for not 1, not 2, but 4 cards, as each of the partisans would trigger, as well as Platoon would trigger twice. Rex's Blaster Pistol clarification. If this card is on Rex, you can play a second copy of it on another one of your characters. However, if this card is on one of your characters not titled Rex, you cannot play a second copy of it. This is important to play the order right. This is clarifying that even if Rex's Blaster Pistol is out on the field on another character, it cannot be played on Rex to gain its ability to ignore uniqueness rules. It must be played on Rex first in order to be able to play on others. Snoke clarification. A character that is defeated by taking 1 damage from this power action cannot resolve its die, since its dice are set aside before its power action resolves. This is a reminder that once a character takes damage equal to or greater than its health, it is instantly defeated. We crossed this with Second Chance, and we are now bringing it back up with Snoke. Dice are removed as soon as the character is defeated, so Snoke's power action cannot resolve fully and fizzles out. Remember to subscribe to keep up with all the latest videos. Thank you for watching.